Again, you don't need to have the paid version, but there's some rooms in here that are free, aka this one. So we're gonna go here, and let me know how the audio is, by the way, and if you're seeing this page. Awesome. Okay. All right. Let's start. So yeah. Yeah, we're screen sharing. So computer forensics, what is it? It's basically us trying to investigate a scenario. So what we are trying to do is basically figure out the case of what happened during a compromise, for example, malware, that sort of thing. So computer forensics can be anything, disk, memory, you name it. For Windows, the reason why I picked this room is because Windows is still widely used in environments, etc. I know Mac is being used for like engineering teams, but for cybersecurity, it's just still really great, advantageous, and great to know how to investigate Windows systems and be familiar investigating them in terms of artifacts and procedures. So that's why I picked this room, so that way you can improve your Windows forensic skills, more specifically with the Windows Registry. This may change. It's the most used desktop operating system right now. Again, there's Mac and Linux, but in cybersecurity, it's just really great to have your skills and knowledge of being comfortable and confident with investigating different systems, whether it be Windows, Mac, or Linux. And artifacts, if you heard of indicators of compromise, you probably heard of artifacts. So artifacts is basically like breadcrumbs to an investigation, such as, for example, like compromised hard drive, etc. It can be anything that gives you a clue to figuring out what happened during a crime scene, whether it be like for like a compromised device, that sort of thing. Indicators of compromise or artifacts is still really important because it helps you get a better understanding of the root cause of the event, so that way you can figure out what happened, how to get started, and how to go from point A to point B in the most efficient and effective manner. So it is highly recommended to understand not only the term artifact, but also examples of it, such as indicators of compromise.
If I may add, if any of you all are planning on taking, or if you all are planning on taking forensics fundamentals or network forensics here on campus, highly recommend you all really get involved with this, because I've taken the class, both the forensics and went after it. And what Joshua just said is highly important. As cybersecurity personnel, many of us will be tasked with, let's say an employee says, "Oh no, I deleted my files, I deleted everything, I don't know where it's at." Obviously, as we all should know, just because you delete something doesn't mean it's permanently gone off the face of the earth and never find it. No, most likely it'll be in the recycling bin, or it'll be hidden somewhere within the computer. We've used many tools, packet snippers, you name it, and we've been able to find it in many of the classes here offered. Well, I was the only two offered here. And yeah, really fun. So just in case anyone wanted to know, I just know.
Awesome. The audio is still kind of choppy. If I get closer to it, oh, that's why. Okay, now I see it. Let me move this closer. Okay. How's that? Is that better?
How many is that? You know, okay.
I'm gonna say yes. Audio is down. Oh, yes. Okay. Awesome. All right. So with that being said, thanks, Mike, for your feedback. Highly recommend understanding this room. because not only is it important for your classes in the minor of cybersecurity, it is really beneficial for helping you when you're tasked with investigating a compromised device and other indicators of compromise or artifacts for different investigations as a cybersecurity professional. So that being said, most important thing, is my computer spying on me? We have heard of, for example, the Google browsers where they try to get telemetry on you to help build ads and overall customized stuff for you. So your privacy may be at risk. So yes, a Windows system does keep a lot of activity performed by a user. For example, we're going to learn more about the Windows Registry Hives upcoming. But just so you know that yes, a Windows system contains information that allows you to get a better understanding of user activity on it, even if the user is not logged in. Because, for example, we have logs that is really beneficial to know. We have firewall logs, we have the Windows registry, we have an overall plethora of evidence. Awesome. Okay, good. Yeah, the audio is a tad better now. Sweet. Improvement. Yeah. Like I said, a Windows machine has a lot of places where you can go for evidence to start your investigation. But for the purposes of this workshop, the most beneficial place to look for that evidence would be the Windows registry, and we will explain more about that in the upcoming test. So with that being said, what is the most used desktop operating system right now? It is Microsoft Windows. Yee. So
Bill Gates.
that's good. We're gonna put it here. Paste. We're gonna hit submit. Awesome. Yeah, my streak. Let's go. All right. Let me know if you got the correct answer for that, please. Give me a thumbs up in the chat, or give me a yes. Yes. Awesome. All right. Okay, so now let's talk about the Windows registry specifically. Why am I like mentioning it a lot about being your go-to for Windows environment forensics? Let me explain. The Windows registry, if you're reading the TryHackMe room, is a collection of databases that contains your system's configuration data. For instance, we have probably heard of the system32 config file. Please don't delete system32, otherwise your system is going to be very compromised and you have to get a new system. So please don't delete your system32 file because it contains all the configuration information for your system. Windows Registry contains databases for your system in terms of configuration, whether it be the startup, boot, everything that basically makes your system go is in the Windows registry. So it's just really powerful and overall really beneficial for us as investigators because it houses a lot of really beneficial information for us to get a better understanding of not only how a Windows system works, but where to go to grasp this information. So that is what the Windows registry is. And like I said, it can be anything associated with your system. It can be about the hardware, software, user information, you name it, it's in the Windows registry. So how does the Windows registry store this information? It stores the information in a format called keys and values. Basically, what that means is, for example, let's just say you have a file called, let's just say, hard drive. It's going to be hard drive, semicolon, whatever that USB is. Keys and values basically is a data structure that you probably heard in your CS classes, data structures, for instance. It's basically a way of taking one value and mapping it to another to overall help you better understand, like, okay, if I see this value, it's aligned with this. That is what a keys and value is. So you can think of your folders as the registry keys because they identify the data that is stored in those registry keys. So you can think of the registry keys as the name of the folders, and then you can think of the data stored in those folders as your values. So that way you get a better understanding of, okay, if I am investigating, basically, if I am investigating network activity on a compromised endpoint, I need to go to the network folder and look into the data of those folders for me to get a better understanding of what happened during that time frame. That is an example of how the Windows registry consists of keys and values. So, what is a registry hive? You probably heard about it. Windows registry contains hives. So basically, like I said, hives are a group of keys, subkeys, and values stored in a single file on the disk. For instance, if you took the design of database systems class or you are going through it, you probably heard public keys and primary keys and foreign keys. This is the same subject where we have keys that align with different values. We have subkeys that align to other values. And then we have the values, which is the data itself. I know that's very complex, but just as a reminder and overall advice, think of the registry hive as a database. In a database, you have data, you have keys to join other tables, and just overall, you have a structure in which the data is stored and formatted, and overall, how can we parse the data? So, like I said, how do you parse this data? I'm glad you asked. But before we do that, I want you to know the 5 most important root keys in the registry. So you have the current user, you have users, you have local machine, you have root, and you have config. In order to view these, you would open the regit.exe application. So if you go here, you type regi edit. Yes. And now you see the 5 keys. So what I did to get this is I typed regedit.exe into the search bar when you click on the Windows icon to see the information. So that is what regedit does. It allows you a way to see the Windows registry in a GUI format. But if you want to go the shortcut way, hit the Windows key and R key simultaneously at the same time, and it will open a run prompt that looks like this. And then you just type in red, and then you type in regedit.exe, and this is what you will get in terms of seeing the registry information. How's that? Give me a thumbs up if you like that. Ooh. All right, let's dive deeper into the keys. Current user, which is going to be Mike because this is a laptop. So the current user is basically the configuration information for the user who is currently logged on. So for example, it's going to be the user's folders and any screen colors, control panel settings. Yes, we still use control panel. Anything associated with the user's profile is associated here. So if you want to see how the user profile was configured, This is a excellent key for you to get that information. And if you want to get an abbreviation so that way it sticks better, HKCU is the abbreviation for H key current user. Now, for H key users, this is all the loaded user profiles on the computer. So I'll talk about subkeys. So you can think of users as like the primary key, and then underneath that you have the subkeys. HK current user is a subkey of HK users. HK users is the overall umbrella. HK user is a part of that. So if you want to see basically all the users' profiles on the system in terms of their information, H key users is a really great key. So that way you can get a better understanding over abbreviations. If you want to see all the user profiles on the computer, HK users, you didn't see that internet connection is unstable message. You didn't see that. HK users is HKU. Local machine, it's for your system, HKM. There's a lot of stuff in here. For example, we talked about software. If you want to see your software information, you go here. So for example, say for example you wanted to open PyCharm. You can go into the software key folder and you will see the information associated with your programs. And for an abbreviation, it's HKCR. For software classes, again, this is your default settings that apply to all users on the local laptop. So for example, software classes, default settings apply to all users, local computer, that's a local machine. So local computer, your endpoint, that's what a local machine is. Now let's talk about current user. That is for the default settings that only apply to the interactive user or the most current logged user. In good old root, like I said, if you want to see root for other earlier versions of Windows, you can do that here. But also, if you want to change the settings for the user that's currently logged on, you can do that. So in order to make those settings, please remember that it falls under the software classes folder under the HK current user key. And if you want to change the default settings for your local computer, then local machine is the way to go. Because, for example, we talked about local machine that applies to all users, whereas the current user only applies to the interactive user. And if you want to write and edit, you can do that with these. So to clarify, you have the H key class as root, and this key exists under the current user software classes folder. It is freeze.
Zach, you good?
Did I just accidentally click on?
Yeah.
All right, I accidentally clicked on the thing. My bad. All right, zoom on this. Stuff. Come on, Zoom, disappear. All right, let's go here and go here. Awesome. All right, abbreviations. What is the short form for H key local machine?
I think it's HKLM.
There we go. HKLM. Awesome. Now we're on to task 3. This is where we get into the nitty-gritty. So, how do you start your investigation? You can do that, but it's very important to understand if you have a live system, which we do now, it's operational, you're using it now, that sort of thing, not dead. You will be able to access the registry using the regedit.exe application that we showed earlier, which is this. And we'll be able to see the information. I'm not going to click on it because it's my information, and the hives are very sensitive information, but I just want to show you that this is the application that you can use to see your registry information, but also where the registry hives are located on the disk. Why is that? Because if you're doing a disk image, you're going off of that disk image instead of being on the system itself. So you must know where the registry hives are in order to pull that information versus being on the live system and doing your registry forensics instead. So it's really important to understand if you're on a live system, such as the one that I'm currently on, use the regedit.exe application. Although we're going to talk about more in the upcoming test, but for this task for now, just be aware that you can use the regedit.exe application. If you're using a disk image, for example, if you have used the tools called FTK Imager or Autopsy, you must know where the registry hives are located on the disk to pull that information to do your forensics. So, like I said, where are these hives located? Like I said, your system32 file folder is crucially important. Please do not delete it. Otherwise, Mike is going to be really, really mad. We're cybersecurity professionals, and we're messing up, and we're compromising our own systems. What the heck? So,
whoever does delete their system32 system, we are not liable whatsoever for that. Y'all should know better.
like Micah said, please be aware of your system32 file, and please be very cautious. But if you want to see your registry information, yes, they are stored under the C Windows System32 configuration directory, because Windows Registry is databases that house all the information in terms of configuration data for your system. So that's why they're going to be under the System32 config folder file. And we're going to talk about these 5 more in detail. So if you want to see the user information, where do we go? See, this is very important. Windows 7 and above. If you are running Windows NT on your systems, please get upgraded to Windows 11 because of end of life, etc. So please update to Windows 11. However, if you're doing Windows investigations and you're using a virtual machine with a Windows 7 ISO or Windows 10, that's different. But make sure it's isolated, and overall, if it was compromised, the malware wouldn't be able to access your network because it's segmented, either using VLANs or something else. But for this task, just know that if you want to see the user's information, it's going to be under the C users and whatever the username is. So for example, think of, C users and Michael Hartnett. There we go. You'll see Michael's user profile directory information. I'm just kidding, you have no info. But that's just an example. If you want to see the NT user dat user class dot dat. So if you want to see the current user information, such as for example, who is logged on right now, gonna be under the NT user dot dat. If you want to see everything else about the user class. Where is the information stored again? Again, it's going to be under C users, whatever the username is of your Windows of the profile. App data, local, Microsoft Windows. Again, C users, whatever the name is of your user profile. App data, application data, local, because local machine, Microsoft Windows. And we can see that here. And user class dot dat. C, and then here, C users username. In here. One thing to point out, these are hidden files. But they are still really good to know because it helps you better understand most importantly, if I do see these files, why are they there? Why are they important? And should I investigate them? Now, let's talk about the Amcache hive. So this is another crucially important hive. I mean, all of them are, but this is another really good one. So what this hive is that it saves information on programs that were recently run on the system. For instance, if I want to see if someone ran PowerShell on the system, I can see that using amcache.hive, once they use PowerShell ISE, or another program, such as, for example, like VMware, if they ran third-party remote connectivity software, I can see that in the Amcache hive because it will show me the information about those programs that were recently run on that system. Transaction logs and backups. Who doesn't like logs? Logs are key, and backups. Please back up your systems. When I say backup, I mean don't back up your systems every year. Back up them at least weekly or daily, because you don't want your system getting hit by ransomware and you have to start from complete scratch. So backups are crucially important. But yeah, so what transactions logs are is that it basically helps you better understand the changes in what happened to the registry hive. So that's what transaction logs are. It helps you better understand the change logs associated with the registry hive overall. So that way you can get a better understanding of what happened at a specific time and date. What were those changes? Why were those changes made? And is this something malicious or is this just normal activity? Backups, completely important. They're basically so basically their backups is the actual hives themselves, and they're under the C sprint those system32config file. But after 10 days, they're moved to the redback folder. So if you want to see basically what happened to your registry hive, the transaction logs and backups is a really great way because you get an overall picture of what happened to those registry hives. But if you want to see the hive itself, highly recommend the Amcache hive. So what is the path of the 5 main registry hives? Default, SAM, security, software, and system. I'm glad you answered. It's going to be C. Okay. That's control, right? There we go. There we go. C. And we're going to go C. Windows. System. 32. No, I said 30. Oh, number lock is not on. I don't blame you, Mike. I blame this. Where is my dash? Config. Awesome. Now, what is the path for the Amcache hive? C. Remember your dashes. Windows. Was it app data? It was app compat. Compat and cache hive programs and cache .hve. HVE is your extension for hive files to help you better understand what files those are. All right, I know that's a lot to take in. Just overall, Windows Registry is a monster of forensics. So give me a thumbs up if you are liking my explanation and overall demonstration of the test so far. Am I going too slow? Am I going too fast? Am I covering the topics in a great way? And also, how am I doing with answering the questions? If I am doing a good job so far, please give me a thumbs up. I'll take that as a yes. Awesome. All right, data acquisition. How do we get the data itself? Like I explained, you will either get a live system, which is the one that I'm currently on, because it's live, it's functioning, it's working the way you want. It is not compromised or anything like that. It is alive. It's alive. It's not a zombie. Here we go. Or a image taken off the system. What the image basically is it's a screenshot of the activity and overall information of a system. For example, you probably heard of admins having to re-image laptops, etc., because something bad happened on them, so they have to re-image the Windows environments or etc. to get back to where it was before the compromise. That is what images are. They allow you to basically go back to a state in which the system was not compromised, etc. And the image will basically house all the information in overall programs, data, etc. for that system. So it is really good to understand the difference between a live system and an image taking off a system, but most importantly, how to do forensics on each of them. Let me explain. So the process itself is called data acquisition. I know it's very original. Let's go with it. Registry, like I said, if we want to view the registry on a live system, we use rededit.exe, which is your live system. This allows us to basically acquire a copy of the data and then perform analysis on that. Why is that important? Because if we do analysis on the information, we are changing it. We are overall getting a better understanding of what is happening. For safety purposes, we want to make sure we take a copy so that way no unintended changes actually affect negatively the system itself. So that's why we take a copy of the data so that way we still do our analysis on what happened, but no unintended changes will negatively affect the system itself. So how do we copy that information? We need to go to the this file. Unfortunately, we can't because it's a restricted file. Good job, Michael, for restricting the file in your system. Good job. So what do we do now? I got tools for you. Yes, and also these rooms are on TryHackMe. Unfortunately, some of the rooms are paid. However, we are advocating if you to go the paid route, so that way you have more access to the platform, etc. If you want to learn more about information about that, you can either contact me on Discord or you can contact Mike, and we will get you set up with the TryHackMe paid plan, and just overall help you better understand why should I get the paid version of TryHackMe, what is the value, that sort of thing. But for the purpose of this task and workshop, just know that these tools are on TryHackMe. There is free ones, but also there is paid ones. Again, it's up to you to decide if you want to get the paid version or stay on the free version. But we just highly recommend for you to get the paid version, so that way you can get access to more rooms like these to overall improve your cybersecurity knowledge, both from a theoretical standpoint, but from a practical standpoint as well. So let's start with CAP, because we're talking about Windows forensics. So if we're on a live system, CAPI is your tool. CAPI basically is a live data acquisition and analysis tool that allows us to acquire registry data. It is primarily a command line tool, but it does come with a GUI, like you can see here, and it shows you basically what it looks like. TryHackMe has rooms on all these tools. So if you want to check this out, if you want to check all these out in more detail, you can click on the link for the rooms associated with the tools, so that you can get a more deeper understanding of why these tools are important to understand, not just for forensics, but for cybersecurity as well. All right, so this is how you would use CAPI. It does come with a command line, but again, it does come with a GUI for you to collect your registry data, or you can use command line, whichever is your preference. Autopsy, really great tool. Autopsy, basically, like I said, the thing about Autopsy and the thing about CAP is for live acquisition data. Autopsy is for data on live systems from a disk image. It's really important to understand because there's a lot of tools in cybersecurity associated with different categories. I won't name them all because there's so many, but if you want to just overall take a note, CAPI, if you're dealing with live systems, it's good. Autopsy, if you're dealing with live systems, but if you're going off a disk image, highly recommend this tool. And if you want to understand how do you get started with your investigations with this tool, you can there's instructions right here, so that way you can get started. And most importantly, it provides screenshots, so that way you can see, like, okay, did I make any mistakes? Is this the correct in terms of format for me to start on my analysis? So these screenshots are really beneficial because it helps you better understand, like, I need to get my GUI looking like this in order to start my analysis. If it doesn't look like this, I need to go back to where I had issues, fixed it, so that way I can get to my GUI looking like this, so that I can start my analysis. Like I said, TryHackMe does have rooms. If you're interested in these rooms, I believe Mike is okay with us pinging us for interest.
No issues at all.
Yeah. So Mike said, if you're interested in these rooms for future workshops, etc., ping me or Mike, and we'll see about that. So just overall really great tools. FTK Imager is like Autopsy. It's both from a live system and from a disk image. And also it provides a screenshot, so that you can get a better understanding of how this tool looks and how to start your analysis. FTK Imager, like I said, these workshops are really great. If you're interested in learning more about these workshops, or if you're interested in us doing future workshops on these tools, ping me or Mike, and we'll see about getting these going. So if you want to extract the registry files using FTK Imager, you have to use the Obtain Protected Files option. What does that mean? It only applies to live systems, which is highlighted in the screenshot below. And this allows you to extract all the registry hives to a location of your choosing. Most importantly, it would not copy the amcache file, which can be a burden because it often is necessary to investigate evidence of programs that were last executed. So you have to take that into mind. Do I want the data? Or am I willing to have this data without the amcache.hi file? It's up to you because all investigations are different, but I just want to point out what these tools are, what are the use cases, what are the advantages and disadvantages, and most importantly, what is the value that you get out of these tools. So, for the purpose of this room, we will not be acquiring the data, but we will be working with the data using the VM, which is down here. Once we get to task 10, we will do the hands-on challenge. So like I said, we learned about those tools. If you have any questions about the tools, please ping me or Mike. And if you want to do those tools as TryHackMe workshops, again, please ping me or Mike, and we will see about getting those rolling. And again, here's more tools. These is Eric Zinnerman's tools. He's just a really great cybersecurity professional that is known for having tools for Windows Registry, forensics, and much more. So highly recommend checking on the link tools link for DFIR, digital forensics, and incident response, because they work hand in hand together. But if you don't want to use Eric Zinnerman's tools, again, Access Data has a registry value tool that is very similar to the Windows registry editor tool, rededit.exe. Like I said, we want to talk about the advantages and disadvantages and the value perspective of these tools. So why is this tool good? It allows you to, well, number one, it's free, but the disadvantage is that you can only load one hive at a time. If you're doing investigations you want to have multiple hives, so that way you can overall get a clear understanding of what is happening. Unfortunately, with the registry view, you can only view one hive at a time. And unfortunately, it can also take the transaction logs into account. But if you want a free rededit.exe alternative, registry value is still very good. And again, we talk about Zinnerman's tools. If you want to see more about them, please click on this link. We're going to be using Registry Explorer in this room. So it's just really great and a very beneficial aspect of this tool. It allows you to load multiple hives simultaneously, and it allows you to add data from transaction logs into the hive. So that way you get a better understanding of what happened recently instead of like in the past. When you're doing data, it's very important to not only understand what happened, but also when it happened as well. Like I said, if you want to bookmark this information, and let's go straight to it, the bookmark option is really, really great. Again, we're going to be using this tool in the upcoming test. RegRipper is another really great tool. It's free, and it basically outputs a text file in a report format of the keys and values of the hive. All these tools are really, really good. But again, it does not take the transaction logs into account. So we talked about Registry Viewer, we talked about Registry Explorer, and we talked about RegRipper. Again, highly recommend to check out these tools. on your own. But again, if you have any questions or you want to do these rooms, please ping Michael or me, and we will try to get something going. Or if you are in the classes, I believe forensic fundamentals, etc., you will learn about these concepts as well. All right. Task 6. System information and system accounts. What does that mean? Let's say, for example, we want to figure out what happened on our system. So, for example, we want to know the OS version of our system. Again, if you're running Windows NT, why? Please make sure to be updated to Windows 11, or if you're doing analysis in a virtual machine, Windows 7 or Windows 10 or below. Make sure if the system gets compromised, that it doesn't have a way for the malware to spread in your environment because it's segmented, either using VLANs or firewall rules, that sort of thing. Access control list, for example. Like I said, we're going to be using Registry Explorer. Although we're using screenshots, I just want to show you the data in which we're going to be analyzing. We're on task 6, so I believe we're halfway through. Let's just see where we are. We're halfway. Okay, awesome. Give me a thumbs up if I'm doing really well. You're liking my explanation. Am I going too fast? That sort of thing. We got life. We got thumbs up. Let's go. Awesome. Sweet. So if you wanted to see your OS version, if you wanted to see basically, did I update my system? What am I running? There's your operating system information, Windows 10 Pro. So in order to see this information, you would need to go to C. No, my bad. We're in the registry. Software, which is going to be your key, your hive. Microsoft Windows NT current version. Let me just do a or we're gonna go to okay, this is not hives, these are the keys. But if I did have the hives, we would go to the software hive, and we go to Microsoft Windows folder, then we would go to the operating system, which in this case is NT, and then we would see the current version, which is going to be Windows, which is going to be this, which is going to be your build. This is basically what it is. This is going to be the version itself. All right. What happens? So what happens when your system starts up? Where do you get that information? This is where control sets come into play. So control sets are basically data for your machine's configuration that controls your system startup, such as boot up, that sort of thing. So where is this information? It's going to be, so we're going to start with 1. So control set 001 will point to the control set that the machine booted with. Control set 2 will be the last known good configuration. What that means is basically, if your machine booted with, for example, Windows, that information is going to be there. The last known good configuration would be, is this configuration stable? What was the version? What was the OS, etc.? That is the information. So basically, control set 001 is going to show you the information in which the machine booted with. Control set 2 is going to show you the last known good configuration. And they are both under the system hive. And volatile, if you want to see it from a live forensic standpoint, it's volatile. It's going to be under the HKOM system control set. So that way you get the most accurate information because it's live, it is happening in real time, that sort of thing. So if you want to see that information, you can go to system select current. And again, it's both of them are under the system select configurations. But just know for control set 001, it deals with current. Control set 002 deals with the last known good. But again, it's going to be under system. So you can find that information under control set. If you're dealing with live forensics, please take a look at this section. It's going to be under HKO system, but it's going to be under current control set. But if you want to get the most real-time data, you would need to go to system, select current, and for control set 002, again, system. So this section is live. This is if you're going off a disk, that sort of thing. And this is how it will look. Like I said, computer name. It is crucial to establish the computer name while performing forensic analysis, because we want to make sure, is this the system itself we are tasked to work on? If it's not, then we're going to have issues. So computer name is really, really important to know, because we want to make sure, is this the machine that was compromised or that we need to take a look at? If yes, great, we can now start our analysis. So highly recommend either bookmarking this hive or folder or artifact. Yeah, artifact is really good to know. Or artifact. So that way you understand before you start your analysis. Most importantly, is this the system in which is the correct system to do the analysis? That information can be found under system, current control set, control, computer name, computer name. So you first go to system, then you go to current control set, then you would go into control, computer name, computer name. Because, for example, we talked about control sets, they're going to house your configuration data upon controlling your startup. Time zone information. This is crucially important. Like I said, this information is going to be under your system folder, and then it's going to be under your subfolder, such as the current control set, control, time zone information. I'm going to show you all this information in the upcoming test, so don't worry if you have any questions. These screenshots basically show you where it is located and overall an understanding of how the data is formatted. So that way, if you want to go see your time zone information in the registry, you can go here, and this is how the data would be formatted, and this is where overall you would get the data to start your analysis, that sort of thing. Now, networking side, networking interfaces and pass networks. If you want to see the network interfaces on your machine, Ethernet, etc., this is where you would go. So you would go system, current control set, services, TCP IP, guess networking, parameters, interfaces. So I know it's a lot to take in. So start with system. Then you want to go to your current control set. Then you want to go to services, TCP IP, then parameters, interfaces. Again, I'm going to show you how to navigate this, but just take a note. This is where you go for network interfaces and on your machine. If you want to see the past networks in which they were configured, you can go here as well. And also, they have a really great identifier that basically shows you how, in terms of TCP IP, how this networks were configured. So if you want to see like network information, IP addresses, DHCP, subnet masks, such as WAC 24 or WAC 32, DNS servers, and much more, go to software, go to Microsoft Windows, whatever your OS is, current user, current version, network list, signatures, unmanaged, and managed. Again, these registry keys contain past networks as well as the last time they were connected. So not only will you see the last network information, but you will see past networks, but also you will see the most current as well, in terms of when they were connected. Then you have your auto start programs. If you heard of persistence, just know that these keys are widely known to be used for persistence, such as, for example, if a threat actor or bad guy gets kicked off your network because you found them and you want them removed from your environment, they use these AutoStar programs to overall help them stay in your environment even though they were removed, because upon auto start in a program, they will be now back into your environment. So this is an example of persistence. Persistence is basically when an attacker wants to stay in your environment, but they want to say, but even though something happened that removed them from it, now they have to regain access and stay now back into your environment because they were kicked off. That is what auto runs are. Auto runs are basically an attacker leveraging these keys in order for a program or command to be auto run to allow that threat actor or bad guy to get back into the environment when the user logs on. So it is crucially important to understand these auto start programs because they are known for being associated with unfortunate malicious activity, associated with threat actors, and so on and so forth. And this information can be found under the ntUser.dat, user information, and also they can be found under the software folders as well. If you want to see the registry key information, you go to System, Current Control Set, Services, and now you see the information. The SAM Hive. Please. Yeah, okay, we're good. All right. SAM Hive. Why is this hive important? We're going to be using this hive in the upcoming test, so please take a note of this. The SAM Hive contains your user account information, your logon information, and your group information. This is mostly located in the SAM domains account users folder. So in order for you to understand from a user's perspective, what am I looking at? Go to the SAM Hive, you'll see the user account information, you will see the logon information, and you will see the group information. Group information, so the net command is a really great command. So for example, I'm gonna pull up a command line terminal. Please don't roast me. Command line terminal is still good to know. Command line, not a camera. I say command prompt. Please get that. Please get the Master Chief Collection. That will help your cybersecurity skills and knowledge. So crucially important, the Master Chief Collection. And gamer, like I said, great username. Net user. So if we do the net command, this would be great to know. We do net man, net. Let's see, net account. Net accounts gamer. Or is it no, net gamer? Right. I remember is, or is it, oh, let's see, net user gamer. Boom! There we go. That is an example of the net commands that is used to get information associated with the user on your system. If you want to learn more about that, please ping me or Mike. But if you want to get an understanding of how this tool works, I use the command net man to pull up the man page, and then I can and then I use the command net user. You can see it, net user gamer, to pull up Mike's information on the system. Don't worry, Mike. No sensitive information was found.
Oh, good.
Good. Oh yeah, you can see it right here. All right. Awesome. Again, if you want to see groups, net groups. Yeah, it can only be found on a domain controller. But if you want to see user information, you want to be using that username command. That's an example of user information that you would find on machine and in the hive. But if you want to go to the hive itself that houses the information, go to Sam Domain's account users. All right, I know that was a lot to take in. Now let's go answer some questions. You guys still with me? Give me a thumbs up. Awesome. All right. So what is the current build number of the machine whose data is being investigated? All right, current build number is going to be build number. Current build number is here. Okay. Your build number is going to be okay. The build number is going to be, I believe it's going to be this. Yeah, 19044. So if I do that, boom. Which control set contains the last known good configuration? Is it going to be 1 or is it going to be 2? In the chat, please give me the correct number. Is it going to be 1 or is it going to be 2? I'll give you a hint. What is the difference between 1 or 2? What is 1 and what is 2? I'll give you a hint. One of them is known for the machine, and another one is known for good configuration. So is it 1 or is it going to be 2? It's going to be 2. But don't worry, it's a lot to take in, so we're gonna go 2. What? 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 Oh, that 002. Anyway, Zach, you're right. My apologies. Thank you, Zach. Thank you. So what is the computer name of the computer? So it's going to be computer name, which is going to be under system. So here we go. It's going to be THM-496. So it's going to be THM-496. Did I spell it wrong? THM.
Capital N.
Oh, dash. Dash. Yeah, dash. Dash 496. Yeah. Forgot the dash. There you go. Awesome. What is the value of the time zone key name? Again, when we talk about keys and values, so we're going to go to the time zone. It's going to be under system. And we're going to go to here. And what we are looking at is the key name. It's going to be Pakistan Standard Time. So we'll do, let's go further. Pakistan Standard. What is the DHCP IP address? Again, it's going to be under system. It's going to be under network information. So we want to see the DHCP IP address. So we're going to go to network, and we're going to see DHCP IP address. It's going to be 192.168.100.58. So we're going to go here. We're going to go to 192.168.100.58. Awesome. And what is the RID? Again, identifiers for the guest user account. It's going to be under SAM. So we're going to now see what is the RID of the guest user account. So we want to see the guest user account. It's going to be, I believe, this. And the RUID is going to be the identifier of the user. I believe it's going to be 501. Yeah, I believe that's going to be 501. Awesome. How did you like that section? Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. You guys enjoying Windows Registry Forensics so far? Awesome. Next, we're going to see recent files. Like I said, forensics is great, but it is most important to understand what happened at a certain time and date. Most importantly, if you can get live forensics, that is still really advantageous. But if you can't, then you want to see what happened recently by the user. What was the most recent activity? So where do you go to get that information? You would go to the entityuser.dat file, because we're dealing with a current because we're dealing with one user instead of all users. All users, for example, under user class. But if you want to see a user specifically, we go to nt.dat. Your software information, Microsoft Windows, current viewer version, Explore. Why Explore? For example, the Windows Explorer, File Explorer, contains the documents, etc., that are saved there. So if you want to get an understanding of what the server opened, you would go under the Explorer folder and then recent documents. And it's going to show you what files were opened by the user. Again, Registry Explorer, we're going to show you how to use this. It's going to show you how to open these in, how to pull and grasp this information. But for the purposes of this test, just know where you can go to see recently opened files for each user. It's going to be under the software, Microsoft Windows, current user, Explore, recent.docs. What hive? Entityuser.dat. Again, different files, but you can see it. PDF, JPEG, docs, you name it, it's going to be there. If you want to see the files of those extensions, you just put in the extension. And then we go to Office, most recent files. Again, we're under the entityuser.dat. And it's gonna and the good thing is if you're doing live forensics, it's gonna show you the live ID. For more information, click on these links. Awesome. There you go. Shell bags. Shell bags. I did not make up the name for that. So what does this mean? Shell bags are basically when any user opens a file folder, because we're talking about any user, whereas entityuser.dat is for one user. So USR class.dat is basically showing us information about any users that opened a file in a specific layout, because they can change the layout, whether it be portrait or landscape. It can be also different for different folders, whether it be, for example, a image, Word file, etc., portrait landscape. So basically, what shell bags are from a forensic standpoint is that they store information about the most recently used files and folders. And again, this is going to be different for every user, but generally you can find this information under user class.dat. local settings, software, Microsoft Windows bag, shell bags, shell bag MRU, most recent user. If you want to see a specific user, you use into user.dat, same thing. So it just depends on the users. If you're dealing with multiple users, user class.dat. If you're dealing with just one user, into user.dat. Unfortunately, Registry Explorer does not give us a lot of helpful information with this. So we're gonna have to use another tool that he created, which is really great, which is a shell bag Explorer. And now we can see in which when a user opened a folder, what layout did they open it in? Yes. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Zach. All right. Open, save, and last visited MRUs. Like I said, most recent users. So when we open or save a file, a dialog box appears asking us to save or open that file from. And basically, Windows remembers where we saved or opened this file from. This is where MRUs come in. Basically, MRUs basically imply that we can find out recently used files if we can get our hands on this information. And the registry keys would be registry keys are listed here. And for Windows Explorer Access search bars, if you want to see basically what they typed and searched, you can also go here into user.dat, software, Microsoft Windows current version Explorer, and this is where you would find that information. If you want to see what they did, Windows Explorer address, in the paths in which to get to those files, you can see that here. So now that we talked about what users opened in terms of recently opened files, saved, that sort of thing, let's go investigate this. So when was Easy Tools opened? Easy Tools was opened on 2021, 12/01. I'm going to butcher so what was it? What was it? 2020. Okay, so 2021, 12/01. Okay, so we're gonna do 2021, 12/01, and I believe the timestamp was 13/00/54. 34. Okay, so it's gonna be 13/0/34. So it's gonna be 13/00/04. Did I miss a word? 2021, yeah, I got it there. 2021, 012/01. That's correct. Opened on 2021, 12/01/13. What I have? Oh, 4. Boom. At what time was my computer last interacted with? Not Mike's. This is for the scenario. Don't worry. At what time was my computer last interacted with? Because this information is for interactions. What did the user do? What did they interact with? And when did they interact with? So my computer, I believe that's going to be under. No, that's not gonna be. Oh, here it is. My computer. When did they as interactive with? It's gonna be 2021 11/30. I believe that's correct. 2021. And we're gonna go to 11/30. And I believe the time was 10:56:19. So it's gonna be 10:56:19. 121, that one's already good. 1056, 19. Last interactive. This thing hit me.
Was that a notepad executing?
Oh, the path. Okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah, so the path. We want the actual application itself. So it's asking, at what time was my computer last interacted with? So we want to see when does this interacted application when was it last interacted with? So it's going to be okay, you're being okay, so 6/2021 time I believe what time was my last it's going to be um, um, uh, hmm, where is this one? Okay, so format. Where are we? On day. What? Hold up. Go look into question 2. Oh, hold up. Okay, it's going to be last interacted on 11/24. What time was my last computer interacted with? First interacted with is it going to be 11:30? Let's try that. 11:30, and let's go with 11. Let's do this. It's gonna be the most recent time. It's going to be 11:30. Eleven zero eight. 11:08. 08. I am close. Oh, it's gonna be 12/01. 2021 11/08-2 is gonna be 01. Is it going to be 11/24 18/20? Oh, last interacted with. My bad. Gonna be 2021 12/01. I figured it out. 12/01. Then it's going to be 13 dash 06/47. I can do that right here. 6/47. Submit. Yes. Persistent. All right, awesome. What is the absolute path for the file observed using notepad.exe? We just
You actually earlier, went over it, where it shows the image of notepad.xdx. I think that'll actually happen to my computers, program files, Amazon, easy big service that maybe right there.
yeah,
Might be.
awesome. They're gonna really make me type all that. Are you kidding me?
Can't copy that.
Well, okay, it's not that bad. Let's go to C. Was it program? C. C dash program. Once again, awesome. C program files. Amazon. Why does this have such a long path? That's okay. Files Amazon EC2 config service. Settings. Awesome. When was the file opened? When was this file opened? 2021, 11:30, 10:56. All right. We're gonna do these really so we're gonna knock out this section. All right, so how many times was the file export launched? This section is now on evidence of execution. We were on users information in terms of what did they do. Now we want to see what was executed, what program was executed. And we're going to get that information. We want to go to the anti-user.dat assist key. User assist is going to show us the information in which a user launched applications. And it's going to be mapped to users view ID, which is going to be the group user ID because users can be configured in a certain way, whether it be privileges, groups, etc. So you want to take that into account. But then it's going to be under the user assist read count. So it's going to be how many times was the file explorer launched? Going to go here. We're going to go, no, my bad. We're going to go here. We're going to look for the file explorer. It's going to be here, and it's going to be 26. Awesome. What is another account name for Shimcache? We talked about Amcache. Now we're going to talk about Shimcache. Shimcache is different than Amcache. Shimcache talks about your application compatibility with your OS and tracks all applications launched on that machine. The reason why this is important is because of backward compatibility. You want to make sure that certain applications will work with certain operating system versions so that way there's no bugs or anything. That is what Shimcache tracks in terms of information. It tracks the application compatibility with the OS and tracks all applications launched on the machine. So if you want to see the file name, file size, and last modified time of the executables, you can do that with Registry on Explorer. Unfortunately, it does not parse the data in a human readable format, so we have to use another tool like we did for shell bags, which is going to be app compat cache parser, because that's where the Shimcache information is stored. Amcache, like I said, Amcache does perform similar to Shimcache, but the main difference is between Amcache stores additional data associated with the program executions. So, for example, it's going to show you hives, execution data, that sort of thing. Whereas Shimcache is going to show you basically more on the compatibility side. Again, they're both going to be associated with app compat. You can find the Amcache information under C, Windows, AMCAP programs, and cache.hive. And if you want to see the most recent information, you would go to amcache.hive, root file in the volume GUID, which can be your identifier. And this is what Registry Explorer, in which we're going to use, This is how it formats the data, and overall, this is what the data looks like for that specific hive. BAM and DAM. BAM is your background activity monitor, what happens in the background. DAM is for desktop activity moderator. So basically what that means is basically BAM will tell you anything that's happening in the background. DAM is going to basically shows you the power consumption of your device. And all of these, I said, are part of the modern standby system, but they're going to be under the system hive because we're talking about system information. So where's this data going to be stored? It's going to be under the system hive, current control set, services, their name, user settings, SID, because of the identifier, which is really beneficial. So what is another name for shim cache? Another name is the application compatibility cache, or app compat cache. So if you see app compat cache, just know it's another name for shim cache. So we're going to copy and paste that. Okay, so they want the one purposes, but its name is called the application compatibility cache, but they want the abbreviated version, which is app compat cache. So app compat cache, shim cache. Which of the artifacts also saves SHA-1 hashes of executed programs? The AM cache. Yes, I get that right. amcache.hive. So if I do so, AMCA, so it should be. Awesome. Which of the artifacts saves the full path of the executed programs? AM. Or is it the other way around? Because, oh yeah, because we covered AM first, and they covered AM. USB forensics. It is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Do not take USB drives that were dropped on the ground and plug them into your laptop because they contain malware. But if you want to identify those USB drives, etc., this is where you would go for identifying that information. But again, it is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, so please be very, very careful with using USB drives that were found out of nowhere because of what they may contain and how and what they can do to your machines. To find that information and to identify it, you would go to the enum directories, and you would find under USB store and USB. So for example, if you wanted to see basically what vendor made your is associated with this USB, you would go to the USB store, not STORE, STOR, and you would see the vendor ID, product ID, version of USB device plugged in, and other really important and great information. Also, it's going to show you the time the devices were plugged into the system to start your forensics, which is very, very beneficial. We're going to use this to answer questions 1 and 2. So, what is the serial number of the device from the manufacturer Kingston? The serial number can be found. Oh. I wonder if I can open this in another. That's going to be rough. Assistance, Mike. Long serial number. 1C. Oh, it's gonna be painful. 6 F6 F6 54 E59A 3B0. I believe it's a 0. That better be a 0. Is it 3A0? Why did I type 9A? That's a 38. 38 0C 179 T336 AE 0. What did I type wrong? 1CF6.
54598
From that was an 8. That was an 8. Boom! What is the name of this device? Prod Data Traveler 2.0. Okay, so what's the name of this device? Oh, that's the title. We want the name. Kingston Data Traveler. Okay, so it's gonna be Kingston Kingston Data Traveler. Kingston Data Traveler. 2.0 device. Boom. What is the friendly name of the device? Friendly name is going to be, device name, Roger. Broad friendly name of the device. Manufactured Kingston. Oh. Serial number is this. This ID is this. So it's going to be this. So it's going to be USB. Boom. All right, the moment of truth, hands-on challenge. I did promise you that. Mike is in the background super hyped. See? Okay, this might take a bit. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to ask those now while the machine is loading. All right. And this all these have hints, so we're gonna do all these also. This is for learning purposes, though it is okay to use hints because we want to learn. We don't want just us to put the answer in and say correct and move on. No, we want to understand how did we get to the answer? Why is the answer correct? And where do we go to prove that our answer is correct? And be able to explain comfortably and confidently why this answer is correct. And this machine will know it. If you are able to see this, please give me a thumbs up in the chat, so that way I know that you were able to be able to get to this and load up the machine. If you can't, I recommend refreshing your browser by using this wheel. Click on it, and it's going to reload your browser. Okay, now you wait. And boom, we're in. Don't worry, Mike, your system is not hacked. This is for learning purposes. This is legitimate. I guess like why is a Windows system on my device and it's not in a VM? Let's try it. All right. So we're going to get we're gonna move you Zoom by. All right. Let's get to work. We're going to now do easy tools. For example, I talked about we're going to use Red River. You haven't disconnected. Why? No. Boom. Then we're going to do Registry Explorer. And then we're going to do this. Click on it. Gonna load. Oh, look at this century it loads. And by I mean century, I mean please load now. Open. Now let's get our hives. I believe tools. I think that's low. All right. Come on. Yeah, there he is. There he is. There he goes. There he goes. All right. Hives. File. Load hive. C. Program file. Program file. Oh, it's going to be under C. Users. THM. Where, oh, no. I know it's here. C. Oops. E. System 32. Config. Yeah. Boom! Damn! And we got load hive. Okay, so it's going to be users. Triage. C. Windows. Config. We're in. All right, let's do this. Sam. Right. All right. So we the data. So I want to see Sam. I want to see the domains, and I want to see the account, and I want to see users. Okay, so I want to see the users. And I want to see the users. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. So how many user accounts are present on this system? Let me change this to full screen. Let me see if I can do that. Mike, you got the questions?
No,
Did this thing just disconnect me? Awesome. Okay. So we're gonna go here, and we're going to open, and we're going to see the user accounts. So there is 3 of them, but so there's 3 accounts, but we want to get out of, how do we get out of full screen? We want to see, well, so there is, how many user accounts are present on the system? There is 3. Boom. What is the user account of the account that has never logged in? Never. Nada. Okay, Zoom. I want to see create on total login. So the count is going to be here. We're logged on. So it's going to be TM user 2. We go here, THM, and I believe it is called what's the password hint for TM for this? I believe this is the password hint. Yes, it's gonna be count. When was the file changelog.txt accessed? That's gonna be under system. I was right. It's gonna be last accessed. So you want to see when the change file log was accessed. I believe that was under here. And if we want to. All right. I'm back. All right. So we want to see the change control. That's going to be under, I believe it's going to be under system. So we need to go here. We need to file, load Hive, and we're going to go under system, which is going to be here. And we want to see the change log. Yes. Okay. What? Why is it doing it? Why is it doing it? Yes. No. And I want to see, one moment, don't look at this, this is going to be for here. How many do we got left? We got 3 left, so this is going to be so the file change log.access is going to be under, not going to be here, it's going to be in a log file. So it's going to be here. And it's going to be in, no, it's going to be system. No, it's going to be system. All right, recent files. So it's going to be under ntuser.dat. All right. So what was the file change log.access? So we're going to go here. We're going to do file. We're going to do load Hive. We're going to do desktop. We're going to do triage. We're going to do C. We're going to do Windows. system 32, config, and we're going to do relievable software.
Oh.
Thank you.
Understood. Perfect. Thank you.
Yes. Bruh. May have flexibility mode, and then we're going to do triage, C, Windows 32, config, stop whatever. Open. Now I should have 3 hives. I do not have. I think this thing is frozen. 3 hives now. Okay, got it. So this is going to be our, what is this going to be? This is going to be our SAM. This is going to be our software. Unfortunately, this does not have our no. Okay, what am I doing? Current view version. All right. What was the file? Okay, so let me look at the second. Good old set. Let's source intelligence. I'm gonna figure this one out. So we're going to right here still. We're going to figure out how to do yeah, give me 1 second. All right, so I gotta know. We need to do file. We need to unload the hives. Yes. Then we need to load the nt-user.dat file because we want to see when the user last accessed these. So we want to do file. We want to go to load hive. We want to go to C users THM46. But we need triage, so we're going to do C. I believe it's going to be like a triage. Program files.exe. What's that triage? Is it? Please tell me there's a folder that is triage. Hmm. Let me see. Okay, let me try. C users TCM should be here. Triage, there we go. C. Apologize for the so we go to C users THM desktop triage. C users THM 476 anti-user dot. And I have an application that allows me to do that. File, load hive, C, users, THM46. Well, the user THM476. This is how I mean. Okay, so file load high. We're here. So we want to go to Windows. We want to go to C. We want to go to users, THM, and user.data. Yes. Yes. There we go. We got into user.dat clean. So we want to see when this thing was open. So we need to go to current view version. So we need to go to software. We need to go to and I believe it's going to be under root software. And it's going to be Microsoft. Windows. Current user. And if we click on Explorer. And the question is asking, what was the file? When was the file change log.txt accessed? So you want to see a change log.txt accessed, which is going to be under recent docs. I switched to one. Yeah, we're going to we need to speed it up. Actually, recent docs, change log.txt, and if I can copy it, and I can't copy. What are you? It's gonna be 2021. It's gonna be 2021 dash 11 dash 24. I need to speed this up. I need to do this. I need to come on. Let me see if I can get more information. 18/18/48. 18/18/48. Awesome. What is the complete path from where the Python 3.2 3.8.installer was run? Same. We need to go to recent Microsoft Windows, Windows, current view version, Explorer. But this time we're going to go under user assist, which is going to be here. And then we're going to go for our Python installer. It's going to have a UID. It's going to have the identifier of CEB. So we want to go to CEB here. And we want to do account. And then we want to scroll all the way down to that. And it's going to be 2021. Oh, you want the complete path. Okay, so you want the path. So it's going to be Z dot setups. Let me know what time it is. Okay, I'm going to finish this. User dot setups Python dash 3.8.2.exe. When was the USB drive with the friendly name USB last connected? Where do we want to go for this? So we want to go, we're in the same hive. Now we want to go, so now, like I said, we want to start fresh. We want to unload all these. Then we want to go to the system hive because we're dealing with USBs. So we're going to start with the system clean. Give it a moment thing. We're going to go to root. Talk about control sets. Then we're gonna go to enum because that's where the USBs were. We're gonna go to USB store because that's where we're gonna get our information from. And we want to find the friendly name of the USB that was last connected. So we want to see the most recent. So we want to get the friendly name. And I believe the friendly name is going to be the most recent. This is going to be this one. So we're going to go into USB. And the friendly name is going to be, one second. And go to enum. Here we go. Ben Kingston at Proud Delivery 2.0. Repeating. 1C. That. Hold up and drag those dots up. So we got this one. And almost 5 minutes.
We're almost down. I'm sorry.
We're gonna find the ooh, I know it's here. No contains no values. Interesting. What? Oh, I know what it's trying to do. Let's go to, oh, I know what it's trying to do. But anyway, the friendly name is going to be, oh, they want blast. My bad. I was looking for the name. 20, 21, 11, 24, 24. See? Go back. I need to go back to what did it just do? I went back because I did the thing. Because I accidentally clicked on the thing. I need to go back. Rip. So did a thing. What did it do? So it did a root, then it did enum, then we want to go into USB store, then we want to click on this. There's nothing in here, but it's going to give us the last connected, which is going to be 11/24/1840-06. So if I want to click on this, and if I want to see more information, and it's going to give us 1840-06. And didn't want you guys leave it hanging. So if you want a cheat sheet for all your registry forensics, not all of them, but the important ones that we covered in this workshop, here is the Windows Registry forensics cheat sheet. So that way you can be able to glance over which directories you want to go to. And overall, I hope you enjoyed this workshop. I know we had some technical issues with the hands-on challenge, but we were able to figure it out. Like I said, it's very important to use walkthroughs and learn from them like I did. And if you want to basically get a better understanding of what we covered in this workshop, this registry forensics cheat sheet allows you to get an understanding of which locations are associated with what to help your investigations. But overall, I highly recommend TryHackMe's Windows Registry rooms, especially this one, and the other ones that TryHackMe has to offer, and the tools for the room for the For the rooms, my bad, for the rooms that we covered, for the tools that we covered in this workshop, such as CAPI, Autopsy, a PK Imager, you can find those rooms in TryHackMe. But if you are having issues with those, please contact me or Mike, and we will help you find those rooms in TryHackMe for you to do. That's all I have. We're going to terminate the machine, and we're going to hit let me just zoom in really quickly. Yeah, so you can see system and current accounts, file for knowledge or knowledge, external USB device forensics, evidence of execution. And please read this. And I'm complete. And that takes care of Windows Registry.
Perfect, and I just want to end it because we are over time here, but thank you all so much. Please get on our Discord. If not, let me know. I'll definitely be posting a link for those who need to join it. And yeah, I'll be posting our next event on Discord sometime this on Saturday afternoon at roughly 12. Thank y'all so much for coming out here. Thanks to those who were able to watch us live, and to those watching us on YouTube, where this will be uploaded. And I will post the link to the YouTube video once this is uploaded on our YouTube channel. Thank you all so much. Thanks to our speaker, Josh, for making the sacrifice to come on out here and help us out with this. Thank you. And